12 drivers happy. Yep, we are going to race, and here it is. Here's the dusk that I was telling you about. You can see the dramatic change of scenery. Look how pretty it looks. Everything's glowing in orange. What an amazing looking scene we're going to have. So we're going to wait for our drivers now to line up on the grid. Let us jump on board with our race leader, which is Mr. Twinflow. There he is, lined up on the grid. So we just need to wait for the timing to reach 0. Don't forget we have a formation lap, which is new for this season. And then we'll be starting the race. Everyone is flashing their lights. Hopefully they don't continue to flash their lights, or the race director will have something to say, I think, about that. Let's have a look at our driver box and take the car data off, I think, and bring this up. There we go. Yes, boys, we get it. You have flashy lights. Congratulations to all of you for working out your flashy light button.
Please turn it down on the flashing. Turn it down on the flashing.
And there we go, the race director letting everyone know to stop flashing their lights, which is nice for the stream and nice for our eyes, I think. So we're watching 12 cars now going around the formation lap. While they're doing that, let us look at our starting order. So we have Twinflow on pole and Spook with the full one-ton racing 1 and 2. Frozen Droid in third with the Top Gun Racing team, with Wano Aski in the FLD Racing team in 4th place. In 5th place for the Brunt Boys, we have Ricky Tan, Jack in 6th place by Drive By Racing, Schmidt Top Gun Racing sister car in 7th place, with JR in the FLD Racing team sister car in 8th. Korsky 9th, Wild Boys in 10th place, and then Lynchy and Jordan at the back of the grid in 11th and 12th respectively. So that is our current starting order. I'm really looking forward to this one. I think this could be an exceptionally interesting race. We've got the potential for some strategy. We've got a potential for some pits to go in. We've got people potentially saving tyres and not pitting. So we might see some drivers slow through the first couple of sectors. But we might see some drivers sprinting off out into the distance and then struggling with tyres and being clawed back by the end. It's half an hour of racing at dusk at Laguna Seca through the corkscrew. Everyone's got their lights on. The cars are looking fantastic. I am looking forward to this. Hopefully you guys are too. So as they go around the final corner on their warm-up lap, they just need to form up on the grid into their correct grid slots. As we see the final 2 cars now exiting the corner, they pull over nicely. I think someone's... Oh, there we go. There's the last 2 cars there. I think we might have had someone dropping out of position, possibly. Yeah, Wild Boys might have been just a little bit slow, but we see the cars form up onto the grid. We are a couple of seconds away from the start of the race. We hear the beeps going. And it's go, go, go. Twinflow gets a nice start. Frozen Droid actually gets a really good start behind. Looks like Frozen Droid might get out the inside of Spook by turn 1, but no, actually Spook gets a nice run up onto Twinflow as they head into the sweeper left-hander. Frozen Droid looks like he's going to make a go up the inside. He doesn't, but his sister car behind Schmidt looks like he's going to go up the inside of Ricky Tan here. Now it's got back here to Schmidt on the inside of Ricky Tan. Looks like no one's been very aggressive at the start here. They know they've got to save some of the tyres. As we see, actually, Korsky just getting through on Jack. So Korsky jumped a position on Jack. Jack's not going to be too happy about that. And actually, we see Ricky Tan and Aski nose to tail up the front of the grid. Look at this. These are very close up here. Sarah, but ask what country. So this is in the USA. So Laguna Seca is in the United States. We continue with our tour. As we see Aski and Ricky Tan. Look at that. Aski, Ricky Tan gets all sorts of space. Schmidt is straight up there. So Schmidt profited from Aski running wide. Ricky Tan taking a bit of avoiding action. And Schmidt gets through up the inside. And Schmidt goes around the outside of the corkscrew. What amazing move. What an amazing move. And we see Aski flashing his lights, I think, in disapproval there of Schmidt's move. So Schmidt is now through up into 4th place. What a great start from Schmitty. Schmitty's really up on it. So we do see the first 3, 1, 2 and 3. Twinflow, Spook, Frozen Droid leading the way, but this midfield battle is where it's at. As we see Schmidt now leading the head of the snake with Ricky Town behind, ASCII in 6th place, and JR just behind. We know JR is an amazing saver of tyres, actually, so he is definitely one to watch progress through this field. He's not going to be pushing that hard, I don't think, to continue and save his tyres. We do see a off at turn 1 that might be... Oh, there's a big incident. So we see Lynchy, Jordan, and Wild Boys all coming together at turn 1. Lynchy gets away now. Let's actually listen to some team radio. This is on board with the Brum Boys. No, we hear nothing from them. What about Drive-By Racing Team? Again, nothing from them. Okay. Let us jump back here. So we actually have Jack on JR now. So Jack is fighting with JR. JR runs a little bit wide, so Jack is going to go up to the left through the corkscrew, but JR actually gets a run on him. So Jack and JR are close together, but we do have a nice fight up ahead as well. Schmidt, Ricky Tan, and Wino ASCII. Let's have a look at this. We want the 1v1 battle box going on. Look at the battle. Oh, we actually see Ricky Tan now lost out to ASCII up ahead. And I think we're just going to watch Jack and JR. Jack's trying to go round the outside of JR. We see Twinfo set a new best time of 125.379. And Jack doesn't... Where is Jack? Where is Jack and JR? Come on, cameraman. There we go. Jack and JR. Jack can actually drop back a little bit from JR after having to run round the outside of the final turn. So we now see... Oh, we see Jack taking a half spin. So yeah, Jack's dropped back now a good couple of seconds from JR from that half spin. But we see Ricky Tan now ahead of ASCII. We've missed that. So Ricky Tan is now ahead of ASCII. Ricky Tan had a bad lap and dropped back behind. So these two are fighting it out. And while they're doing that, our good friend with the amazing voice, may I say, Mr. Schmidt, is on his way in 4th place. And up the road, we see ASCII now stepping out into the rear as he's trying to look around Ricky Tan. As we see Ricky Tan flying through the left-hander, but ASCII's got the speed. ASCII's going to look to go around the outside of the corkscrew. Can Ricky Tan hold it on the inside? Can ASCII get on the brakes and side by side and go through the corkscrew? Ricky Tan gets the move and closes the door on ASCII. ASCII held back there, which was a really nice move there. As we see ASCII trying to look down the inside. Oh, ASCII nearly clumbles across the curb and glides into the back of Ricky Tan. ASCII's now dropped behind slightly. That has taken the pressure off Ricky Tan. Wow! Wow, we were. What an opening couple of laps here. But we are only into lap 2. 25 minutes left on the clock, and we see these guys are absolutely hammering it out. I had someone telling me they were concerned about drivers not racing here and preserving their tyres, and these guys are going flat out. I think Jack is back on JR just behind. So Jack has closed up nicely onto JR in 7th and 8th place here. So while they're doing it, oh, actually we have the 3 leaders are very, very close now. So we have Frozen, Spook and Twinflow all within a second of each other here. So this is the fight for the lead. Look how nice this track looks at dusk though. Look at the lights on the cars as they power up into the corkscrew. I think there might be some saving here, but we see JR might be making a move on Jan. So what happened to Jan? Jan must have dropped way back on Ricky Tan. So Jan, JR is looking, hang on, who am I looking at? This is Jack and JR. This is Jack and JR here. So JR and Jack are still fighting as they go through the corkscrew side by side. We see Ricky Tan and ASCII as well, still side by side. Ricky Tan all sorts of sideways. They're through that right-hander into the end part of the lap. But look at this, ASCII is all over his gearbox. ASCII has almost a half spin. We see a new best lap time by Twinflow of a 125.214. But the other guys are staying with him. They are still within a second of each other. And we see Twinflow and Spook actually close together. Let's see if they are saying anything. So this is the full one-to racing.
No.
They're probably going to be working together, I think, to secure this 1-2 and to try and keep Frozen Droid at bay. It wouldn't surprise me. We just wait. Looking at the field has slightly spread out here. Oh, we see JR has DNF'd possibly. Let's have a look here. Oh, JR, he has returned to the pits, but he's now leaving the pits again? What happened there? So we're seeing JR exiting the pit lane here. He's going to be lapped down. I'm not sure where that sorts him on the position board. It's showing up as DNF here for me. Track looks great, nice choice. Yes, Terabyte, the track looks fantastic. I agree. Not sure what happened to JR, but we're back with the Ricky Tan and Wino ASCII fight. But I do know there's a fight between Spook and Frozen Joy, which my race director is going to keep an eye on for me. As we watch these two battle out, ASCII's going to look to go around. Oh, we see Schmidt! Schmidt's run wide, so Ricky Tan and ASCII get through on Schmidt as we see ASCII trying to go round the outside of Ricky Tan into the final corner. But Ricky Tan, inside line, holds him up. But now ASCII switched back for the inside line as they head into the turn one. So now ASCII's got the left-hand side as Ricky Tan got the legs. Ricky Tan's going to have to leave some space as ASCII gets hard on the brakes and ASCII gets the move done. What a great move by ASCII through on the inside. That switch back there from the outside of turn 2 onto the inside was a great move there. We see them continue on the way, but we see Schmidt, who run wide, he's going to be kicking himself, is now back into 6th place actually behind this battle for 4th, 5th and 6th. Actually, let's bring up our extended battle box for these guys so we can see the interval between all of these. But we see actually ASCII turn up. We see Frozen now looking up the inside at the corkscrew. He's right on their tail. So Frozen Joy is pushing like a madman to get past these guys. He is absolutely on it. This is where the battle is. So this is a battle currently for 1st, 2nd and 3rd. Look at the intervals between these guys. These are very, very close. They must have a concern about tyres though. Surely they have a concern about tyres. So we just, oh, look at that, look, Frozen Joy just a little bit sideways on the exit there, losing just a couple of tenths on his time. But they are just so close together here. And they head into turn 1. There we got a yellow in sector 1 from somewhere, I'm not sure where that is. But yeah, we see now JR back in the race, but in P12. I'm not sure what lap he's on. Oh, we hear JR is off. Yeah, we see JR off on the side of the road. But actually, Wild Boys and Jordan coming close together as well. Yeah, we see JR is a lap down currently. So Wild Boys up into P10, doing a great job actually, which is good. Actually, let's go back to this battle because we see Twin Falls Sprints now closing in on each other. Frozen Joys drop back just a little bit as they head through that. And look, it gets me every time, that left-hander. It's totally blind. Let's have a look here. So we see, I think JR might have an issue with his car. He's going quite slowly as he heads. Yeah, look, the car just looks a little bit. But actually, Ricky Tan and Schmidt now are close together. And we see actually Jack's dropped off the back of this battle quite badly. So we see Jack now 3 seconds behind this battle. So Jack's out on his own, it's looking like. With potentially Korski chasing. No, Korski's a long way back actually. So Jack is sort of in no man's land on his own as he goes round. Let's have a look. I'm right on board with Jack. Yeah, see, look, Jack's just a little bit farther behind as we see the night starting to fall. The track is getting a little bit darker, but look at these guys. These are guys I know to tell here. For 1st and 2nd, we see actually Frozen Joy dropped off a little bit from the back of these. But that might be a good strategy, just to save his tyres a little bit. But we're going to keep an eye on this battle here as well. This is the Schmidt and Ricky Tan battle. They are within, actually let's bring up our 1v1 battle box, which is much nicer looking. So Ricky Tan is just holding on to this. We see Lynchy actually having a good race up into P9 from where he started. He's only 5 seconds behind Korski, so can he put the moves on? So we see Schmidt getting all sorts of squirrely. So that's going to give Ricky Tan some breathing room. Let's listen to these boys. This is the Brum boys. Are they talking? No. What about the FLD racing team? No, we just see Mr. ASCII's mic going off. There is currently no talk going between them at all. But I've got back to this battle here. between Twinflow and Spook. They are only 3 or 4 tenths behind. Frozen Droid is keeping them comfortable, but we see a new best lap time from Wino Aski with a 125.1. So Aski is now, what, 8 seconds behind, so he's going to be closing that gap with those sort of lap times. So he's what, 9 tenths faster, nearly a second faster than everyone else. But we see Schmidt falling down, so Schmidt has spun. Schmidt has had a big spin. I've just seen Jack go past him, so Schmidt has spun all the way around. He gets back underway, but that looks like he's lost a lot of time there. He's all the way back down into 7th place. Jack's gone through up into 6th place here. So that allows Jack now through to chase down Ricky Tan, who is kind of on his own a little bit. We're watching Ashley now still setting the track times on fire. He's got Ricky Tan behind, who seems to be closing the gap. What's that about? Has Ashley slowed down? No, the gap's just closing and fluctuating. I want to see the gap ahead actually from these. Ricky Tan is off at the corkscrew, so Jack's now through. Jack is through as Ricky Tan makes a mistake at the corkscrew, so Jack through. Slow and steady is going to win this race for Jack, I think. So Ricky Tan now makes a big mistake and drops 3 seconds behind him through the corkscrew, and Jack continues up into 5th place now. So Jack is going to be absolutely beaming about that one. Let's see, is there...
Oh my god, dude.
Oh, I can hear Wild Boys' wheel vibrating like mad. Oh, Wild Boys has got a flat spot, I think. Wild Boys is struggling with his car. He's now into P11. Come on, Jack, says Terabyte. Absolutely. Come on, Jack. Jack's doing a good job now up into 5. He was in no man's land, but he's paying off for him. As we were watching Wild Boys really struggling to get the car slowed down. A little bit of air it looked like there, but that's probably some desync. But we see Jordan now doing a good job up into P10. Gets the job done on Wild Boys and continues on his way. But we see Spook now and Frozen Droid. This is the battle up front. Look at this. Look how close these guys are now. As we see actually Frozen Droid running a little bit wide here. So Frozen Droid is going to be going... I'm dead happy. Let's go, Wonton Razors. Let's go. I'm dead happy. Happy to have you here. Thank you very much for being here. Absolutely. Let's go, Wonton Racers. They are currently 1 and 2, but they have a desperately hungry, a really hungry Frozen Droid who really wants to win in 3rd place. Can they hold him at bay and keep their tyres going till the end of this race? Let's bring up this interval between these 3. It's only a second splitting them all. Consistency kings, they are indeed. They are very consistent. They are consistently winning is what they're doing. And they're doing a great job at it. Oh, we actually see JR and Wild Boys. Wild Boys is in the pits, so Wild Boys is having to pit for Jack's DNF'd as well. So we have a DNF from Jack. What's happened to Jack? As Jack tumbles down the so Jack's in the pits. I don't know whether he had an incident or is... No, he's actually DNF'd from the server. That is a real shame from Jack. So, we're not sure what happened to Jack. But it looks like he has retired from the race. I'm not sure if he had a crash or whether he had some internet issues. That is a real shame. I want to go back to this battle. They're actually spread out a little bit now. Look, the 1.6, 1.5 now between these guys. So we can see these kind of fluctuate up and fluctuate down between the 1st, 2nd and 3rd place. They might just be struggling with their tyres. As we see the dust turning into night time, we have 14 minutes remaining of this session. This is exciting. I don't know if we're going to start seeing people pitting, but yeah, Jack is tumbling down the order. He's now currently 10th. So it looks like we have lost Jack from the session. Yeah, he's not even in TeamSpeak channel anymore. Wild Boys is on his own. Sounds like he's rebooting R Factor as we speak. What a shame. So I'm dead happy. What point does Frozen Droid make a move? I think he makes a move when he's close enough. I think he might... So Frozen Droid is dead fast. He is so fast, and the thing that lets Frozen Droid down is he's fast and he will kill his tyres. So he will be murdering his tyres a little bit now. So he needs to just kind of consistently edge up. Does a Type P1 and P2 hold him back? It absolutely does, for sure. I think if I was a Twin Flow or a Spook, if Frozen Droid got ahead of P2, then I would back him with P1 into Spook again and try and hold that buffer if I could. But yeah, I think a Type P1, P2 is going to hold him back a little bit. And it's going to be a little bit daunting, right? You see two drivers that you know are in constant communication with each other. They're going to be telling each other and coaching each other through the lap. And you've got to try and break through that and get through both of these drivers. Terabyte says Jack lost connection. Oh, that is so unfortunate. So Jack down in P12 with a DNF as it stands. He might be able to get back into the race to continue like JR did, but it's gonna be 2 laps down, unfortunately. We see JR is off as well at the last corner, so he's not having a good time. But actually, look at these guys are close. I don't think we're gonna see a Spook Twin Flow move here. I think these guys are gonna hold position. Because if they start fighting amongst each other, that's going to allow Frozen Droid to catch him. Because as you start defending and battling, you're going to go slower and slower and slower. So I think these guys are just going to follow each other nose to tail all the way around. Give each other a tow down the straights. Save a bit of fuel. Save a bit of tyres. And yeah, I think it's going to be difficult to break through for these ones. But we see Askey now 12 seconds behind. Ricky Tan 14 behind. And Schmidt. Oh, and we see Twin Flow got off. Twin Flow has made a mistake, as we're talking about it. So Twin Flow's made a massive mistake. Spook goes through up into P1, and we now see Frozen Droid right on the back of Twin Flow. Twin Flow runs wide just at the exit at the end of the lap. Look at this. Oh, he's flashing his lights. That is not what you want to be doing. It's not a distraction race, but we see Twin Flow now defending the inside line, and we see Frozen Droid trying to go around the outside, but it's so long and wide around there. It's going to take a big effort to get through there. So Frozen Droid now hot on the tail of Twin Flow here. Oh, he's flashing his lights to try and distract him as they go around the fast right-hander. So yeah, so Twin Flow is now back up to speed, but that has allowed Spook just to disappear now. So these two are going to start fighting amongst each other, and they're going to slow each other down, and that's going to allow Spook just to disappear a little bit. I'm Dead Happy says no free lunches for Frozen. Absolutely not. There is no free lunches at all for these guys here. But we see Twin Flow actually just back up to speed quite nicely, actually. A blip on it there which threw Jack out. Not a happy chappy. Oh, Terabyte. I can feel his pain. I think this is probably one of the only races that he's DNF'd from. And he was having a really good race as well. Some solid points for the drive-by racing team. That is so unfortunate. So we are watching Frozen Droid now battling with Twin Flow, but Twin Flow is back up to speed. We are 10 minutes remaining as we go into, I don't even know what lap this is because we haven't got lap counters on, but I think they're going to start feeling their tyres here. Let us, while we keep an eye on this with one eye, let's have a look at our old friend Mr. Lynchy, see what he's doing here. So he's up into P8. He has got Korski ahead of him by 8 seconds and Jordan behind by 4. So actually Lynch is doing a really nice job here. Some solid points for the Brum boys. Let's have a look. Let's actually have a look at Jordan as well. So Jordan is actually closing a little bit. He's now 3.9 behind. Twin Flow is running fast. I think if we return to P1 Spook Drafting, I don't know whether Spook is going to let him go through or not. I think it's difficult, right? I know they're very close together in the championship standings, but I think they need to hold off a fast Frozen Droid. But let's have a look here. I see Frozen Droid catching up on the old marker, but no, he doesn't quite get it through there. It's a big gap to make up to Spook in the last 8 minutes of the race. 2.4 seconds is the gap. I don't know. I don't know if a Spook will let him through or he will make a move, but I mean, for us, the viewers, we want it to happen, right? We want Spook and Twin Flow to be battling. We want Frozen Droid to get get up in there. We want all this to sort of kick off. But yeah, I know Spook. When Spook gets out front, he is just so metronomic and fast that I think he's going to be difficult to get through. Let us run down our current mid-race results, shall we? Yeah, he's only making a 10th on Spook and he's 20 laps to approach him at least. Yeah, exactly. And it's what, a 1 minute 30 basically laps they're doing 125s, 126s. So yeah, he's going to run out of time unless Spook really starts to fall off his tyres. And I think that the period of time that Spook was following Twinfo around, just keeping pace, just keeping him happy, is going to save his tyres like mad. And we see Twinfo actually drop back. Yeah, we see Frozen Droid also falling back to 2 seconds behind. So I think the tyres might be starting to play an issue here. Let's have a look at our mid-race results. So we currently have Spook, Twinfo, Frozen Joy 1, 2, 3, ASCII 4, Rickertown 5, Schmidt 6, Gorski 7th, Lynchy 8th, 9th Jordan, 10th is JR, and we do have Wild Boys in 11th and Jack with a DNF. Let us bring back our lovely looking overlay. So we hear Lynchy and Jordan are closing in on each other. So yes, oh, we do see Lynchy and Jordan closing in on each other. And there's that a full one-ton racing driver behind Jordan as well. So we do actually see P1 is coming to lap drivers here. So Jordan does a really nice job and gets out of the way. But that is slowed him down a couple of attempts here. So back markers could play a massive part of this. So we do run GT rules here at the GSMC. So you don't have to get out of the way of a fast running car. You don't have to move out of the way. They have to make the move, but you can't defend from them. So it is down to the faster driver to make a clean move. Is that Korski run wide? That is. Korski's run really wide, so Korski's now dropping down to 9th place here. Jordan goes through up to 8th, Lynchy up to 7th, so Korski's made a massive mistake there. Lost a whole heap of time and dropped down into 9th place. That is going to upset him. As we see the leader now approaching Lynchy here in the fast and tight final sector. He's not going to let him through on the final corner here. So actually Lynchy runs a little bit wide, so he's going to go up the inside here. So that is going to cost him a little bit of time as they go through. But Lynchy's just going to stay on the right-hand side and allow Spook just to nip through up the inside. And he does so nicely, but Lynchy loses very little time. Potentially dangerous contact moving through the tail. Absolutely, I'm dead happy. That can absolutely happen all day long. So if someone gets a little bit desperate and tries to make a bold move up the inside of a back marker and they're not getting out of the way, it could spell disaster. But we see Frozen Druid actually dropped off quite a lot from Twinflo. He's now 2.2 seconds behind. And we see Lynchy actually running wide here. Is he going to let Twinflo through? He doesn't let Twinflo through. So actually Twinflo is now stuck behind Lynchy, and Lynchy runs wide a little bit. Twinflo still behind him, so Twinflo is actually been held up quite a little bit by Lynchy there. But again, the rules are Lynchy doesn't have to get out of the way here. So actually the gap has now dropped down to 1.2 seconds from Frozen Droid, as we're just watching the leaders fight their way through the back markers of Jordan, Lynchy and Schmidt here. Let's have a look here. So now we see Frozen Droid trying to get up. Frozen Droid pits! Frozen Droid into the pit lane. This is huge news. So Frozen Droid having to pit. He's run out of tyres. 4 minutes remaining of the session, and we see Frozen Droid entering the pit lane. What can ASCII do? ASCII goes through, and ASCII takes over P3. So Frozen Droid now dropped to the back. This is going to allow Spook and Twinflo to relax, I think. They're not going to want to stop with 4 minutes remaining. They're not going to stop for 4 minutes remaining. That is baffling to me. He must have been out of tyres totally and struggling, but he's still in a solid P3, so he's thrown away P3 here. to get a new set of tyres, and he's now behind Ricky Tan in 4th. And he's going to have to battle through Ricky Tan and Askey just to get back to where he was with 3 minutes and 15 seconds remaining on the clock. I think that was the wrong decision there, my friend. As we see, cold tyres. Look, he runs wide on the cold tyres. Frozen was the only Wonton upset. The fairway is clear. Yeah, the fairway is clear for the Wonton guys, and I think Spook is going to have this. We see Askey now inheriting P3, so Askey is going to be absolutely amazed by that. As we see Schmidt also in the pits. Schmidt in the pits and Korski. What is going on? We've got 2 minutes and 42 seconds remaining, and we see these guys in the pits. Ricky Tan off apparently as well, as we see Frozen Droid now closing in on Ricky Tan. So is Ricky Tan suffering with bad tyres? Is this... Have I spoken too soon? And is this a touch of genius from Frozen Droid? Yeah, look at this. Frozen Droid... Oh no, his contacts! Frozen Droid spins! Frozen Droid spinning on the inside. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh no. Go back to the live feed, please. So Frozen Droid through, but spun on Ricky Tan. Contact on the inside. A pair of spicy wontons, absolutely. Sikorsky is still in the pits there. Has he got some damage? So Askey has still got the fastest lap of the race, but look at his lap times in the 28s. The wonton guys are doing 26s still. So, this is interesting. But yeah, we've got not a lot of time left actually. Let me bring up the timing box for you guys so you can see. Interesting. So Frozen Droid is going to be hot onto the back of Ricky Tan again. He's going to close that gap extremely fast. He's going to be so fast. He's going to be light fueled on fresh tyres. But we've got a minute and a half remaining. What can he do in a minute and a half? Can he look at the time? Look at the gap between him and Ricky Tan. 2 seconds, 2.1 seconds. Can he reel him in before the end of this minute and 10 seconds? Oh, we see him. Look, he's pushing too hard. He's into the wall. Frozen Droid into the wall. That is not what we wanted to see here. So Frozen Droid now dropped down to 3 seconds. So he's trying too hard. We have a penalty for Korski that must be speeding in the pit lane from Korski down in P11. That is probably not going to cause him any issues because he's only got Jack behind him after his really long pit stop. Let us ride on board with the full wonton race. Wild Boys has spun apparently. He is back up to speed, but we have JR just behind him because JR managed to close that gap. No, JR... Oh, JR is? Yeah. So Wild Boys is 2 down. Yeah, so JR is a lap actually ahead of Wild Boys as it stands. So let us ride on board. 18 seconds to go. This looks like his last tour. He just needs to slow down a little bit. He will cross the start-finish line at 0:00, and he will win the race. We are riding on board with Spook. His teammate Twin Flow in the other full wonton racing team made a slight mistake and just dropped a little bit of time, and Spook went through and continued. We see Spook all over the exit there. As we see him now coming up to the end of the race, takes the checker flag. Spook goes through and wins at Laguna Seca at dusk. A great job by him. And we see his teammate and brother Twin Flow in 2nd place. We are going to see Wino Askey come through in 3rd place with an inherited 3rd place. Let's have a look here as we see Mr. Wino Askey go through into a 3rd place after Frozen Droid had to pit for some tyres. Look at this. Good job from Wino Askey. Had a nice battle with Ricky Tan in the early parts. Kept his head as he goes through. This is the battle I want to see. So Ricky Tan and Frozen Droid. Looks like Ricky Tan's got this one corner to go. Frozen Droid looks all over the place at the back of the grid there. As we see now Ricky Tan. Yeah, Frozen Droid might have gone off at the back there. And we see Ricky Tan in P4. Crossing the line now. Frozen Droid with his late pitch strategy. Actually, Lynchy though, P6. P6 for Lynchy. Where did that come from? I have totally missed what happened with Lynchy. Is that because everyone pitted? Is that because we had a Schmidt Korski pit? So is Lynchy going to get into P6? Incredible. So we're going to watch him finish his tour. So we're just saying, pair of spicy wontons. He's overthinking. Absolutely dead happy he is. He's pushing too hard. Terabyte, great racing, lovely evening setup, and super commentary. Gutted for Jack though. See you at next race. Terabyte, thank you very much. We will be back at Donington Park in 2 weeks for the endurance event. That's going to be a good one, I think. The Weaponized Wanton races, bringing it home, great race. Absolutely, I'm dead happy. They had a fantastic race between them. But actually, I am dead chuffed to this man here. Lynchy, P6. He did some nice practice on this track early doors. As we see him going around the final corner, a little bit wide, but who cares? He's coming on to bring home some amazing points for his team. P6 for Lynchy as he crosses the line, and I think everyone else possibly might have finished. I know we got Schmidt just behind with Jordan just behind him. Jordan's really close actually. Jordan is only 8/10 behind, but he's not going to be able to make up the time here as they cross the finish line now. So it goes Schmidt in 7th, Jordan 8th. JR is in the pits, so it looks like that is the end of the race. That is the end of the race. Wow, incredible. What can I say? Let's have a look at our post-race schedule here. Oh, we're going to wait for the track to reload. That is fine, not a problem. So I just want to thank everyone here for watching. Thank you very much for being here with me. I really appreciate you all. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time for our final race at Donington Park for the endurance event. We will see you then. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
You know why see me shine? Don't vex when you get married. Me now make trouble stress my breed. Cut checks me, I cut to the chase.